One of the question that I had ready was about tens that quit to go and pursue content creation.
Are we canceling? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, Matt's sleeping on stream. And I was like, what?
Speaking of contracts and salary and stuff like that, how does it work?
You named Hiko as like a player, right? This is an example of the brand thing and why they pay him more. So you named Hiko. Yeah. Can you name two other players on Hiko's team?
Nope. Is it in the plans for you guys to move to a LAN house when the lockdown's over, or? Hi, welcome back. I'm still with Taylor Johnson, alias Drone, who plays for TSM. I want to talk to him a little bit more about him being part of a big organization, his teammates and stuff like that. So let's get started. In the first place, TSM was your first team in Valorant. So TSM is Team Solo Mid, obviously. Why did you choose TSM?
As a team, when we were starting out, we won a lot of events, and we were approached by a number of organizations. We were playing under Mousepaz at the time, which is just like a placeholder name, while we looked for an org. And when TSM approached us, I had never played under TSM. I don't think anybody on our team has ever played under TSM in their Counter-Strike history. And it's obviously like, it's a big name, it's a big brand when they come to you and you're like, wow, these are guys that are like I think in our release statement, we talked about like a cornerstone of esports and like a very, like a pillar in the community of like just the general, like it's been so long that they've been around and they've been like one of the best names and they've been like consistently at the top. So, that was immediately like a draw, right? We were like, oh wow, TSM, that's a huge name. And then on top of that, they gave really competitive offers. Like they take really good care of their players and us. So, that on top of just having like the prestige of their name was like, wow, yeah, I think we have to sign with them, you'd be willing to take less like salary wise to join an organization like TSM than you would like another organization that maybe is just like a startup or something that's offering you maybe money, but they can't offer you the brand power and the exposure that TSM can. So
makes sense. So how did it work at first? So you guys were all five of you playing right now. Were you the original roster before you all joined TSM?
The thing that's weird is everybody on the team has played with each other at some, so me and Cutler had been on a team together. Cutler and subroza and hazed had been on a team together. Wardell and subroza had been on a team together. Me and Taylor had been on a team together. So it's kind of like this mix mash of all these people that, and the personalities worked really well. We played really well in the first couple tournaments. I think it's safe to say we picked up the game the fastest out of all the teams that are currently here. And then we won that tournament, and then we played the next tournament, we won the next tournament. And we won 10 tournaments, 10 first place. And it wasn't like these massive Ignition Series 50Ks, but it was all these tinier ones that every org was running, and we were winning all of them. First Ignition came out, and then I think we won that. I don't know if that was before or after we signed. It was before we signed. So we won the first Ignition as TSM. So anyway, they approached us as a roster. Our set 5 was our set 5. We weren't looking to change anybody. And we negotiated that way because we had, the accolades of winning all these tournaments and placing.
Is it in the plans for you guys to move to a LAN house when the lockdown's over, or?
It's a possibility and it's an option that we've considered. We think, or at least I think, I can't really speak too much to what my teammates believe, that just having an environment where you're together as a team really helps the morale and really helps focus. So when you're at home, it's really easy. Since I play in my bedroom, dude. My bed's right there. I'm not gonna say I go sleep during practice, but when we're practicing, it's really easy to drift off and lose focus or something, or whatever.
Alt tab or whatever.
Yeah, alt tab or whatever. You just zone out, or you hear something, or you smell food, or you know what I mean? Anything, and you're just okay, well, you're not fully in it. But when you're together as a 5 and you're next to each other and you can talk, make eye contact with the person you're talking to, especially helps a lot with team chemistry, if that makes I think you understand what I'm saying.
It does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So if let's say there's a mistake and you're talking about it, and a lot of teams will argue, or a lot of teams will bicker a little bit, but if you can sit there and look at the guy you're talking to, you're way more likely to just work it out as a teammates. You know what I mean? Work it out right there, squash it, figure it out, and move on. Right? And practice is just way more productive that way. Yeah. So I'd like to go to a LAN house, or at least not a LAN house maybe, but an environment where we can play together as a team, and also have a residence there.
Yeah, that's why everyone would move to wherever and have the place where they get to go win practice and do their work at that place. You get that separation between what you do at work, because you're over there, you're working, and then when you're back home or whatever, you can do the streaming you're trying to do, or game, or do whatever else. Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about is we see in sports the salary floors, the salary caps, which forces the organizations to share a little bit more about player salaries and the bonuses and details like that. And that's not something that we see in esports, at least not as of yet. And maybe it doesn't really apply to Valorant yet because there's no league. It's just tournaments and it's pretty random at this point. But hypothetically, if there would be a league, would that be something that you'd support?
Yeah, I think it would be good, especially if Riot runs the league. Like Riot runs LCS like really well. Their esports for league is just, they do a phenomenal job. Obviously, it just shows through their production quality and their viewership and all that. Yeah, like you said, the public salary thing and like seeing what people make and like that's not really a common thing, especially in FPS games. The Cloud9, I don't know if you follow Counter-Strike so much anymore.
No.
Cloud9 was doing that from when they signed their newest roster. Every time they sign, they announced his annual salary, his bonus, all that. They like all out there, right? So, but Counter-Strike has been out for like since 2012. And that's just happened. That was the first time that's happened. I think it's beneficial for players to just generally like know the market value of each other. So I think that'd be a good idea. And like I said, an FPS game, I think it's maybe a little less cut and dry than it is in like League for like to say I'm a better opper than this guy. It's a bit subjective.
Yeah, that's true.
To say like I'm just better because maybe you're better at this style and he's better at passive style, and maybe like, and especially again, I don't watch like League or Dota, so I can't really speak to this too much. But in FPS, a lot of the time it's stylistically a matchup. So like, on paper, a team that's ranked higher than another team might lose to them because stylistically they clash a bit. Mm-hmm. And, they're just hard to deal with. Like maybe a team's super aggressive and you're not good at handling that. Or they're super tactical and really, really slow. And you're just weak to that. And they just beat you because of that. So it's hard to like subjectively be like, this team's better, this player's better. Like this is obvious. Unless it's like a very clear disparity where like, it's just like, it's astronomical. So, but I think it'd be like a good step to take. Yeah.
Speaking of contracts and salary and stuff like that, how does it work when you go and you're about to sign a contract for a professional esports organization? So a lot of players are very young. They have no experience with negotiating a contract, and that's not necessarily the case for you, but just in general. Do you get an agent to negotiate for you, or do you get like a lawyer? Do you get to negotiate at all, or this is what you get, take it or leave?
Right. There's definitely a negotiation period that happens. You can use an agency. I don't use an agency personally. I've been looking into it, but a lot of like higher tier players, like people with really big stream brands, and that's what's good for an agent too, specifically, is like he can get you a value for your stream or like your social media presence on top of you as a player. So as a player, you're worth, let's say, X amount, right? But if you stream all the time and you have thousands of viewers and you have all this brand impact, then your X amount of value goes up because like obviously sponsors are you're more appealing to sponsors, you're more appealing to other people, other teams. So your worth as a player to the organization goes up just because of that. And that's what agents are really good at. They're very good at like nailing down that aspect of it, like how to leverage your brand power to get you like what you're looking for. But yeah, I use a lawyer whenever I sign anything. Like you said early on, when I was like a rookie player in any professional, I would just like read the contract and be like, I got it, I read it. This is a disclaimer for anybody out there that's going to do this. Don't do that. Get a lawyer. It's worth it. 100% it's worth it. You don't know what's in that contract. You didn't go to law school. It's like 50 pages long, dude. Get a lawyer. Let him read it.
You tell me that, and it makes total sense when you say they pay you for your exposures and all of that, because a viewer doesn't necessarily think of that. They're going to be like, well, they pay him because he's a good player, and it solely relies on skills.
You named Hiko as like a player, right? This is an example of the brand thing and why they pay him more. So you named Hiko. Yeah. Can you name 2 other players on Hiko's team?
Nope.
There you go. That's why they pay Hiko more, right? Like it's just like, there you go. That's why you pay Hiko more, because Hiko. If Hiko wears this hoodie, or Hiko uses this mouse, or Hiko uses this chair, you know what I mean? Like he streams and like thousands and thousands of people see it, and that's worth a lot more money than just like being good.
One of the questions that I had ready was about TENS that quit to go and pursue content creation. Right. And I was going to say, you hear a lot of people saying that you make a lot more money with content creation, and I guess it's kind of true. Mm-hmm. And is that how organizations keep their players, by not only paying them for their skills and the tournaments and all of that, but also paying them for the whole package? Is that how they keep the people engaged?
Yeah, that's something you kind of have to. If I'm an organization, right, I can't speak too much because I haven't ever been in this position. But if someone is like got a brand power like TENS, you have to pay him more to like incentivize him to like. So if TENS is streaming, let's say, okay, just like let's equate TENS' time to money, right? Let's say 1 hour of TENS' time while playing professionally would be his salary divided by, you know what I mean, like his monthly salary divided by however many hours, you know what I'm saying? So let's say, then this is a completely made up number. I literally have no idea. I've never done the math. But let's say TENS just playing as a professional, and his salary, his hourly rate's like $150, right? For an hour. Okay. But if he uses that same hour streaming, he probably makes like double that money or more. like just right off the bat easily, because he gets like dono subs, he gets like all that's like ad revenue, all that kind of stuff. And so when you're growing as a content creator, as a streamer, there becomes like a threshold. Like there's like your salaries here, like when you first start, right? And then you're like your stream's down here. And eventually, if your stream keeps growing, it meets your salary, and then it exponentially expands. It just gets way better. Like it just gets so much higher. They can't compete. You're not going to pay some guy. Well, okay. I assume you wouldn't pay somebody like $50,000 a month to play for you on your team just to compete with his stream, right?
Yeah.
So like you can't fault Tens, and I think he's still gonna come back and play. Like he's way too good not to, and I'm pretty sure he spoke to it on his when he left. He was like, "Yeah, I'll come back when the time is right to play competitively or whatever." But you can't fault anybody like that for like choosing the clearly more like optimal and
absolutely
profitable route for them. Like it's just like a better use of his time. It makes more money. It's like he makes more content for the people that follow him, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it makes sense that it happens, and I don't think there's like really much like when someone blows up that big and like. You can't really do much to keep them past the point if they don't want to be.
The schedules are hard when you're a professional. All the time that you have to put in there, you don't get a whole lot of free time. You can't build your own schedule and stuff like that. And
right.
You hear a lot of those people that are retiring to pursuing content creation. That's what they say. I want to make my own schedule. I want to do whatever I want, because they can do whatever they want when they stop playing professional.
You're not held to like a practice schedule. You're not held to like match schedules. You're not held to like obligations of like I have to play this match on this day, so I can't stream or make content. So yeah, like your own boss. You make your own schedule. You make your own content. You make more money. Like, but like it's very rare you get a Tens or like a Wardell or like anything like that. Like not many people blow up that heavy on Twitch. So.
You think you'll blow up that? But you just started. You barely stream, right? And I think you've been doing pretty well.
Yeah, I streamed a lot like 4 months ago. Like a lot. I streamed like daily 4 months or so. I took a long break, but yeah, I got like, I think it was unhosted yesterday. I was getting like 2,000 to 3,000, and then Myth dropped the host. They were raid, which was crazy, and then I got like up to 6, and then I think I held 4. But yeah, like I'm not like Tens goes live. I don't even know. He gets like 17,000 or something. Like Hiko, Tens, Wardell, they all get like 10K, or I think Wardell gets like 7 or 8K. Like just I had like 6,000 people watching him sleep yesterday. I don't know if you watched this. No. Wardell fell asleep on stream. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but, dude. We have practice, okay, every day at 4. And we get on for practice, okay? And Matt's not there. And someone goes, I think you've seen joins. He goes, so like, are we canceling? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, Matt's sleeping on stream. And I was like, what? And I open his Twitch, dude, and he's just asleep on the couch. 6,000 people are watching this guy sleep on his couch. And I type in chat, and I typed through his chat. I was like, please help, we have practice. And they all just start laughing. And we called him on his phone. He wakes up and he just like wakes up, like drags himself out of his like couch, bed, chair thing, saunters over to his computer and just like hits the end button and gets in TeamSpeak. Like I'm not gonna be. I don't think I'll be to a point where I get 6,000 people watching me sleep.
That's.
I have a community around me that I can create stuff for and spend time with. So I'm happy about that.
I genuinely find impressive the streamers that are able to keep up with their games or whatever they're doing and be able to not just interact but properly interact with the chat. So you're able to still play and wreck at Radiant level while watching your chat and responding positively, and honestly you're like a super positive guy. You're super nice to everyone. It's like there's like you're kind of impossible to hate when you watch. So I mean personally I wouldn't see why you wouldn't blow up just like the other ones.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it's actually been like I wouldn't say a problem. It's just been something that happens to me a lot where I'll be in the middle of a round and I'll like be hiding in the back of a site or something and I don't hear anything. I'm like, all right, I can reach out and I'll look over here to this big monitor. This is where chat is, by the way, if you guys, you're like right there. Or actually you're on the front side. So you're like
back
here. Yeah, no, well, it's a little bit more. This monitor is huge. That's one end. The other end's like right over here. It's a G9.
Oh, got it. Oh, you have the 49-inch G9? Oh, shit.
Yeah. I have that 49-inch curved monitor.
Is that what you game on?
Curve. No, that's my chat. I just put my chat there. My monitor is the NQ. So yeah, my chat's over there. So I have to like look to the right, and then I'll reach out, and some guy just kills me. I'm like, God damn it, dude! Like, and that happens like a lot. And people are like, Keck W drone sucks. I'm like, dude, I was reading that Keck W when I died.
Oh, that's funny.